Good morning and welcome to the Karim Chubin Podcast. As you know, I launched this podcast very recently, and my main aim is to whisper healing secrets from the East to a Western Europe and vice versa. So I'm a great believer that information should travel freely, and I'm a great also believer that one should dissolve these geographical boundaries that have polarized this world in a very strange way. So early July, I was in Helsinki in Finland for a biohacking conference, and I met this delightful lady by the name of Serena, originally Italian. We started a beautiful conversation when we were actually on day one, when we were entering the um, the main um, the main showroom, and then we got busy with our with the different speakers, with the conference, but we decided to stay in touch. One thing led to the next, and we started communicating, and I decided to invite her today on my podcast because she has a beautiful, beautiful story, and the story can reach many, many lives. Serena, welcome and good morning.
Thank you so much, Karim, for being here. And yeah, I just remember like it would be yesterday when we met out of the summit. Like I was really lost, like where to go, and I found you and some groups, and already felt like the feeling of people united for the thirst to go to know better, to develop life, to growth in life. So it's been an amazing summit there in Helsinki, and it has been amazing to meet you. And I
Likewise,
thank you so much for this possibility to be here.
likewise, Serena. Serena, just when we start, I just realized that since this is not scripted, we're wearing the same glasses. I mean,
Are we wearing the same? It's just the same model.
no, no,
Yeah.
it's a priestly model, I think. So this is to protect against blue light. Huh?
Yes, yes, and they have been very wonderful tool in my life. Actually, I had before those another pair, and I got those from Raw Optics in the summit actually.
Brilliant.
And I have noticed like so much like improvement in my daily concentration. I really often got like headaches,
Mhm,
like pumping
mhm.
headaches, and those they have disappeared. And also like improvement in the mood, that is always good.
Yes.
And because in my work as a nurse in a rehab, I do night shift. Those they have been very, very, very good.
Thank you, Serena. Serena, could you share with us and
Yeah.
our public what your life story, because you've had quite a bumpy journey, and a journey of you went through pain and experience and transformation, and generally when we experience and live a transformation, it's always easier
Yeah.
to well to talk about it and
Yeah, it has
understand how
been,
other people
yes,
feel.
thank you. It has been actually a roller coaster. So I'm gonna start like from a bit in the beginning. I've been like a young Italian, I'm Italian born, Italian young girl, always looking for freedom, always looking for peace, love, and this kind of like find like a community, find like my way in the world. And looking for this, I got in my young age like close to drugs. So I became like little by little addict about like smaller like drugs like marijuana, and then LSD and other kind of drugs and alcohol. And in the search of like freedom, and in the search of this kind of independence, and like live it like find like something more, and the perception, open perception, because I'm also a writer, I got myself like, instead of being free, like really chain in this kind of addictions. And I traveled by the time the world, been working in hotels. I studied tourism and languages. And so I traveled to Paris and to Tunisia and then other part of the world. And I end up like in Greece in the year 2000. And that was the year that really changed my life, because I met my husband, and my husband is from Finland. That's why I'm now settled in Finland from year 2000. And he did something that nobody else before did for me. Like he just stopped and listened. We didn't know each other, a little bit like when we met, like just like pure like connection from the first moment. He was like just like really able like to hear me, and it brought to me to an understanding that by my own will, by my own like power, I will never like try to uh, change my life, that I need like a spiritual touch. I need like a spiritual side, like develop a spiritual side, like in myself. And he told me about Jesus, and I got to feel like really like the power of the Holy Spirit in my life. That have changed everything, because I found again in my life that kind of um, hope, hope in life, hope to change, and that has been like the primer motor that bring me like to stop and want to change my life, want to like develop, want to grow. And I start reading a
Serena,
lot, reading
Serena,
books.
sorry, just want to
Yes,
just to understand. So you're born in Italy, and the
yeah,
search for freedom, inner freedom and
yes,
geographical freedom, you start, toying with different recreational drugs. One leads to the next, and
yes,
you go from softer drugs in inverted commas to more intense
yeah,
drugs.
yeah,
And gradually,
exactly.
you realize that
Mm,
instead of finding freedom, you become trapped in the form of in your own inner
yeah,
prison, if I may say, use that expression. And
yeah,
um, your
yes,
life then
yes.
takes you all the way to Greece. You're still experimenting with drugs, and
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it was a very bad period of my life in there. Yeah,
then you meet this gentleman who listens to you.
yeah,
Okay. And by
yeah,
listening to you, you mentioned that you develop and discover a spiritual path.
yeah,
Is it
yes.
fair
That I didn't have.
is it fair here to say that
Mm,
his patience, his ear was also a form of love, and then through love you found some form of peace, and it put you or helped you find that spiritual path, which then helped you break free from these various addictions.
yes, you say exactly that love is the thing that have changed. Something have changed inside of my heart. My heart was at the time becoming like cold as a stone. I couldn't have feeling for nobody, feeling about anything. My empathy was like disappeared. And this gentleman that have become my husband, he said God says to you that you are loved just the way you are. And I always was missing those words, missing to feel like just loved like as I am. And I think it's what humanity nowadays really miss. Humanity miss like community, miss like people that are really for the others, that that they are listening, stopping, giving the time, giving love, giving part of themselves. Like at the end of the day, like I come to think for who I'm living. I'm just living like a life self-centered for myself, or is the meaning of life just to love the others, to help others, to become like better through the eyes of other people.
Then you choose to become a nurse.
Yes, that was like a changing in the changing. Like life have brought me here in Finland, and here in Finland I got in the healthcare center, healthcare
Sorry,
like studies,
you meet this gentleman.
and I studied.
So you meet a gentleman, you fall in love, you decide to get married, and you move to Finland, and you stop
Yes,
all recreational drugs
yes,
overnight.
I stopped. I know I stopped. I stopped like my previous work, and I fought like very long time to get out of addiction. But this time I was not like I was knowing where I was in. I was knowing that there was something that I could have like better in my life, and I was having a target. So sometimes, like in life, we know that we are inside of the troubles, but we don't have a target. We don't have like a point to look for. But when I realized like the point that I was in, I could realize like the point that I was wanting to go for. And I realized one just simple things, that the things don't happen to me, they happen for me. And through the help of spirituality, God, and prayers, I understood that God allowed me also to go through all these different difficult years, that I could grow as a person and understand the person in the same kind of situation in a better, in a deeper way, what books and studies they don't teach. So nowadays, I am a nurse in a rehab that helps people with drug addiction, alcohol addiction, and mental problems to get back into the life, to get back in society, to find like hope, to find like a future. And I feel that this is like a big piece of the puzzle found like his place. that that is my life ikigai, my life mission is like to help people, encourage people, sustain people through the experience that I have go through. I have something to give, and I think everybody, every listener, if you go deep, like in your life, you find that even the difficult moments of your life have make you grow, and you have something to give, some of that teaching to give to the world.
Very, very true. And Serena, but tell me, growing up in Italy, you were surely raised in a Catholic family, were
Yes,
already exposed to God in a certain manner. And then would you rediscover God through love and through your own interpretation of God
yes,
later on when you met this gentleman who became your husband? Is that how it happened? Or
yeah. Yeah, you see, Karim, there is a big difference between like religion and faith. I belong to a Catholic religion that is in an institution made by people, but my heart have never been with God. And when I discovered God, I felt like God in my heart, Jesus as a real power, and Holy Spirit as a real power in my life, like as a presence. And I gave like everything, all my trust, all my life to this that I believe. So even if belonging like in the Catholic Church didn't make me close to God, it was just making me go to church in Sundays. That it's like I was feeling at the moment like brushing your teeth in the morning. It's like an action that don't bring to you to your salvation, but for the salvation of your soul, you really have to give your life to Jesus, to give your life to God, like with everything that you have. Like it's something so personal that is even, Karim, so difficult to explain to you in the word. When this moment come, you really feel it. And when I felt the power of the Holy Spirit, I felt that kind of power that raised me up from all my problem. And you see, I have like here a necklace
yeah,
with the arrow going up.
yes.
You see, and this I got during a praise. Not so long ago, I was praying. I was in the middle of my negative spiral thoughts that everybody has here and there, and I was praying. I was in silence in the nature. I live here in Finland now, surrounded by natures and trees. So I like to just walk on the nature and pray and be in silence and grounding and without shoes in summer, not in
Wonderful,
winter.
wonderful. Earth,
But praying, I got like a vision. And in this vision, there was a picture, and there was the picture, just this picture that a friend of mine made in a jewelry. And God spoke to me, don't watch at your problems. Watch up, watch like to me, watch to Jesus, to the solution. And that lift me up that in whatever situation I am, I know that I am not in the problem. I have the solution when I give my life and my trust like to Jesus that guide me.
so Serena,
So that is the change that
through
is
faith,
the motor in my life.
so thanks. So through faith and spirituality and love, and all
Yeah.
this combined, you found the power, the wherewithal to
Yes.
break free from the addictions. Then you realized that you had a calling to help others and to give back. You became a nurse.
Yes.
And
Hmm.
now, how do you work with patients in need? Speak to us a little bit about how you approach um, patients. Do you use non-pharmaceutical? Do you give love to every one of them? How do you then repair in between the sessions or the encounters? Because it must be very
Yeah.
draining emotionally, energetically, and it must maybe also maybe send you back to another place, I imagine, to before meeting your husband. How do you manage all
Mm.
these, this blend of emotion?
Actually, it's really invigorating to understand people in the deeper level. Many times when I see young girls come into the center, and I listen to them and I encourage them, and I feel like a big amount of love that I cannot explain through them, because I see me myself in them, and I see myself on the patient that we are treating there. And I think this the motor is like that. The reason that you work, that the reason that you help, has to come from your heart, has to be genuine. Like you just for love of the other people, you go to work, you rise up in the morning, you spend your time in your working place,